something that is ready to run and ensure that the capital issue and the unit is the same way. And again, you do it again and so on, but it's going to give you access to this. This is the provision yesterday. I didn't configure it, I just provisioned it as it, so you can see the kind of functionality that is also the whole show you what you get out of the person on this. And so as I said, I didn't configure it, which means there is no certificate here, right? So it's a unpaid connection. And that's something that doesn't really allow you to use the feature of the feature. But this is to show you that it's running, so it's not just a host with the Docker engine, this time it's a host with the Docker engine, and the Docker practice registry is right. And you just have to add your own certificate and then run it in your environment. So as we move forward, we see that there's going to be more featureful environments to run Docker on Azure. I'm just today covering the basics. I don't have to get you started, you can just start to the host. There's documentation on connecting remotely to the Docker engine, so it means that you need to be close to the CLS because you don't want your Docker engine to be private cloud service. But apart from that, you can just use it as you which is your local environment. So that you're playing what you do in your own environment with the current environment. And you can of course use applications that are connected to other components of Azure, right? Because there are some more complex services on this cloud. And one of the more complex services, I think it's doing testing of database is the container service. Service which allows you to deploy cluster one or two hosts are deployed one by one. You have a whole cluster that can be then used to deploy mechanisms on the applications across different hosts and manage them. And that's what I want to show you today. This is how to get started, but also gives you an idea of where things are going. So in my presentation, I show you that we are looking at what's called container service, the whole platform, the end-to-end experience from development to production. And as part of that, you see all these different components, and you see also that can be deployed on Azure. You can easily Docker feature on Azure. And also that some more complex and featureful solutions that come into Azure, EDPR, which is an enterprise registry, but also in the future you have clusters and pretty soon solutions like this. And that's it from me today. I think we just have 15 minutes to maybe answer a few questions.
Yes, it would be great. Let me. Yes, Alex, sorry to interrupt. Thank you for your presentation. Thank you once again. Let me also thank everybody attending the webinar. Just in the meantime, while the audience is thinking about which questions to be asked now, just a quick reminder, there are more webinars coming in the next week. Just come on the website to be informed. And we got the first questions. How to get a tutorial for MS Azure instead of using AWS?
Yeah, it's a good question. Actually, it's a good question because I don't know the answer on the top of my head, but we have documentation on so the different tools. For instance, if you're using a definition, we have documentation using it with Azure, but for Swarm, are you looking at the Swarm Access document, which is an example of the last Swarm environment? Let me just have a quick look because it's not necessarily something that, oh yeah, you don't have the, okay, it's using CloudFormation context in that case, it's very specific to AWS, but the whole architectures and the component that are deployed can be exactly done on Azure. Now, it's just the CloudFormation context that we cannot. We don't have this ready to go, like exactly the same on Azure, but I'm thinking that as something that should go to the documentation to provide to students and to implement the Azure context and that in the meantime, you can try to have a go yourself. It should work exactly the same except that the automation part that is specific to AWS. But as we add more and more components to Azure, you can expect a lot more also documentation examples, and we're certainly working on that. If you're talking about deploying Swarm, so one way to do it in the near future is to use the Azure container service, which is basically just a ticket as a big host, deploy a Swarm cluster. That would be the first step in that architecture.
Okay, more questions. Espen, this study said, can you talk a little more about Clip2? I'm new to this tech. You installed it on one of your hosts? Why? And then now access via HTTP.
So, Clip2 was an install on the host, right? Sorry I didn't make that clear. So Clip2 is a little graphical user interface for Docker running on your local desktop or laptop. And it's installed with Docker toolbox. So if you want to get started, let's say you have a Windows or Mac computer, you can just go on docker.com and click on the link to your toolbox. And the Docker toolbox is going to give you an installer that deploys everything, including Kubernetes. Kubernetes is basically running a VM in the background and giving you access to this catalog that you can quickly deploy, but also it would show you what you are running from the server. Kubernetes wasn't running on the host remotely. What I did run on the host that's on Azure was the Kubernetes engine example image. I did a Docker run of this image, and this image can be run even if it's used to be a Kubernetes Windows. This image can be run on any Docker. I encourage you to just go on the website and look at Docker toolbox. That's how you get Kubernetes.
Okay, more questions. Do you support Terraform for provisioning nodes on Docker images?
So we don't especially support Terraform because I don't think we have to support it, right? Terraform is let's say, orchestration tool from Azure, and Terraform is using APIs, right? From the I think Terraform will be the component that supports Docker. As long as the result is the supported configuration, then there's no problem, right? So we don't support all the installation, deployment, or execution tools. What we support is the tool to support.
Okay, more questions. Where when will Docker container service be publicly available? I would like to deploy my Docker containers directly to Azure without the hassle of installing an Ubuntu server.
Yeah, I think that's the goal. That's maybe more of a question for Microsoft, the agency. You can go to their blog. I'm going to base the URL by all the posts on the Microsoft Azure blog that are relevant to Docker. If you go there, that's something that should be really available soon, because I know there is a big preview in December. I don't know if you can film all of that, but if you can. So you should follow that blog. Some of the partners they control when features are available.
Okay. One question. You provide API for web application, right? So that everyone can operate against your cloud engine, right?
Okay. So what we provide is APIs for the Docker components. So we have the Docker engine, which is running on the server, and you have APIs for that. The APIs allow you to launch, run, and manage containers, and also volumes and network, right? But the APIs don't allow you to deploy the Docker engine itself, because this is the layer underneath. This is the infrastructure layer. So the features of Azure that I showed you today allow you, and you can use them automatically. I know that, of course, for the demo I'm using the dashboard, but everything I've done you could do it using the Azure CLI or using your own tools, including, I'm sure, Terraform. But this is the part that allows you to build a Docker environment. So you need a light installed, and you need Docker engine to run and to do that. This is the power that you cannot do, because it's about installing the first one. So you have regional images, like I showed you the GPR, I showed you the engine one, you have the individual host, but of course you could also just have your own script, including maybe the Terraform that will provision a VM based on template to choose, and then install the Azure Docker function, or just maybe manually. All of this is possible and standardized and accurate. That's not part of the Docker APIs themselves, because Docker APIs is what you get once per month. So it's going to be a mix of, in that case, Microsoft Azure Cloud and Docker, and to use both APIs to provision of Docker environment.